We're going to share some of our experiences with you and where we learned to where we learned to cut. Why can't I talk? cut costs.
You're keeping me up. You're keeping me up. You're keeping my up. You're keeping me up. You're keeping my.
If you're new to traveling with kids or just have little experience with traveling with kids in general, you might default to couple traveling or how you guys normally travel or how you travel on your own. If you do that, you're going to quickly find out that there's some hard lessons to learn. Today's video is basically all about how to travel on a budget or how to have budget-friendly trips as a family. Your biggest cost is probably going to be your flights or your transportations. If you're looking at flights specifically, before you had kids, you probably just looked for the cheapest flight, right? But now with kids or with a family in general, you're going to want to look for family-friendly airlines. Some airlines offer free lap infants, some airlines offer free luggage, free strollers, free entertainment in flight. So to help you guys out, I have done a sort of comparison post on our Instagram, pin on the map. So go ahead and follow us for obviously more exclusive content, but also for this specific post because it's obviously really going to help you, and it sets it out I think really nicely so you can see what offers what and which airline is probably the best to choose from. Here's something to consider. Are you looking to just do a few holidays a year with your family, or are you looking to travel to a couple of destinations more long term? If you're looking to do the latter, then this point is for you. I suggest you find a central location of all of the places you want to go to. So we really wanted to see quite a lot of Asia. So we've pinpointed Da Nang as the best location for us to be in order to get to these other places cheap. What we do now is we tend to travel every 3 to 4 weeks, and we travel much cheaper than if we were going to go back and forth from the UK. This specifically saves money on flights massively. Obviously, if you're going to go from the UK back and forth to an Asian country, if you want to visit a lot of Asia, that is a lot of money that's going to rack up. So this way, if you say, okay, find one spot that you can see yourself staying longer term, maybe 3 or 4 months, stay there for 3 or 4 months, and in those 3 or 4 months, literally go to everywhere else near it or every other country that you have on your bucket list near that one location, much cheaper. I recorded that. When you're traveling with kids, you need to really bear in mind a threshold for being uncomfortable. This brings me to meal times. If you're traveling anywhere in Europe, 90% of restaurants in most countries will not do a so-called kids menu. So places like Spain, Portugal, Germany, that's just not really the norm. But the good news is in most places you can just order either something off the starter. If you have a child, I would say between sort of like the ages of 3 to maybe 10 or something like that, when they sort of only eat small meals. But if you have a child under 2 that's just starting to eat solids or is just new to solids, I would definitely say you can just ask for a plate on the side, an extra cutlery, and you can just, steal off your plate. In Germany, this is actually a norm, and it's called the robber's plate. And you just ask for it at a restaurant, and they will give you a normal little plate. Sometimes it's a plastic plate if you have a small child with small cutlery, and they just rob off everybody's plates. So that's handy to know. Similarly, if you are in Asian countries where street food is very common, I do advise that you do explore and try some street food because it's great, especially if you're on a budget. I know this will be risky for some of you because that's how we thought about it as well the first time we came here, but I can confirm from our own experiences that we have eaten out and we have had plenty of street food in every Asian country we've been in, and we have never had sort of food poisoning or got sick from eating out. Neither has our child, who is now 1.5. Obviously just use your common sense, look, is their hands clean? Are the nails dirty? Is there flies on the food? So just use your common sense and you'll be okay. When it comes to picking your destination, obviously just maybe look at somewhere where the cost of living is very low, but there's also lots of fun things to do. We've posted a post on our Instagram right here where you can see our top 3 destinations where cost of living is low, but there is so much stuff to do with kids that you will definitely enjoy yourself. So that's one way to save on your trip. I am calm.
Love yourself.
I do love myself.
How many takes do they do when they film movies? You film it?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
A lot of you might already be doing this, but booking your hotels or your accommodations through booking.com. For us, we have found that this has been incredibly helpful. But also before we traveled full time, when we were living in the UK and we were sort of going on holidays, it is so handy because you can book hotels and not pay until you arrive at the property. If you are somebody who's on a budget and you say, I don't know, you book your hotel for 3 months in advance, but you don't have to pay until you actually get there, you know exactly how much budget you have to allocate for that hotel, so you can easily put small money away every month in order to make that budget or in order to make that price. So it's much easier than sort of paying it all in advance. I do have a link down below for booking.com, so please go ahead and use that if you want to book your next trip through booking.com.